Hi all, Hal here with more Empyrion. So today we are in creative mode. Basically over the last weekend and going into earlier this week, the folks at Eleon Games pushed out an update that added some new functionality to the game that we've been looking at for a while now. Well, I should say the community's been looking forward to, both with, you know, a little bit of say apprehension and some with, you know, unbridled joy. So I want to go over a couple of the things that they've updated, as well as show you some of the changes that have gone on. We touched on some of this on Monday. And so yeah, I want to apologize as well for having this video come out so bloody late. Just had a really tough week because of last weekend. For those who don't know, I was actually out of town for most of the weekend. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get everything set up and ready to record this week. So I've been trying to basically play catch up. But we are getting back on track. Hopefully after today-ish, we should be mostly back on track for the rest of this week. But yeah, we'll let you know how that actually goes. So anyway, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been providing all of the support, the likes, the comments, the new subscribers, as well as the long-term subscribers. Welcome to the community. Welcome back. So, oh, all right. So let me show you what we've been doing. So like I said, I'm in creative mode. I went ahead and built a quick facility here, and I'm going to walk you through what we've done. Basically, we've got some new decoration blocks. For those who haven't seen them, there's now the information center. Let me bring up the UI so you can actually see what this stuff is. All right, so where are we at? Do we have our deco blocks in here? Oh, they don't show the deco blocks still. Drats, I was hoping they would. But basically, you know, you've got the old decoration blocks, the old terminals and everything. They now have these computer workstations, which obviously don't do anything, but they look really cool. So we've got a couple of those over here, as well as the new, I think they call it the Media Center is the name of this particular block. So for those who don't know what I am talking about, let me show you really quick. You go into your console blocks. Let's grab one of those really fast. And when you right click on it, when you're placing it, you get your selection menu. So all of these other blocks have been here for a while. The holographic screens, everything up through the holographic screen. So now you have a media center block and you have the computer table. And that's these two blocks here. Like I said, really nice job on them. I really like them. I think that the computer table doesn't quite fit with the motif of the rest of the blocks that they have, because everything else, including the media center, is very industrial, and this is very sleek office design. So not that I don't like it, I think it's a great design. I really do like the texturing on this. It just doesn't seem to go with the rest of the blocks, and I guess that's okay, because I don't know if you'd put this more, like I've got it set up here in a control center scenario, but it is what it is. I'm sure people will find uses for them. I'm just happy to have more creative freedom in the blocks. The other thing that they have added is in the armored doors, we now have a vertical door. So for those who may not have seen that on the way in, I'm really liking this door. So now you have the traditional two-part slider doors, or just the one lift, and I think I'm going to be using these a lot more, because I'm actually really liking these designs. So that brings us into the new blocks. So this wonderful block right here are repair bays. Each one of these blocks has a potential repair value. Oh, I'm trying to remember. So each repair block basically burns off fuel every time you use it, right? If it's repairing something, it'll tell you what it is and what the progress of it is. Each repair bay is independent of the repair bays around it. So in theory, now I don't know if this is going to be practical or not, but in theory, you could have a repair bay that could pretty much instantaneously repair any ship that you might have. So first things first, let's do this. We're going to get inside, take the old core out. I'm trying to remember where the core is. I think it's up here. Is it up here? Oh yeah. What did we do with the core? Oh, see? Where is our core? Is it back here then? I know it's in here somewhere. See, all of our stuff is color-coded. Ah, there it is. So, let's go ahead and take you out, put you in. So now this thing is hostile, right? Oh, let's grab us a little gun here. Something that we can use to do a little bit of damage without actually just obliterating the ship. Rocket launcher, sounds good. Because I don't remember, I think those are the armored blocks, okay. Is that doing any damage? Doesn't look like it. Can we still fly it? We can still fly it. Okay. You know what? It might be not taking damage because it is on the repair bay. Oh, hello. Oh, gravity. Gotta love it. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? There we go. Let's move this thing off of the landing pad. Because I may need... This is the one thing I don't like about creative mode, is that you really can't do much in the way of damage testing. Like if you want to destroy things... Okay, so it is doing damage, right? So you see how it's basically just obliterated a bunch of things? Okay, so now if we go ahead and remove... Let's go ahead and put ourselves back on the landing pad over here. What this thing will do... And now I'm not sure what the actual radius on these are. I have not done this in a system where I would actually be able to get a quick look at it. Thank you. Come on. Alright, so... Oh, are you guys doing anything? Okay, so it's not repairing anything because it's hostile, right? Tells us that the base is at 100%. But let's see here now. If we go in, let's grab a core really quick. We grab this core, we remove that core, we put our core back in, and as you can see, it's repairing the ship for us. This thing is bloody awesome. Let me see. It does take a little while. It's not showing what's going on here, but as you can see, it is burning fuel. Is it... So I'm not sure how they choose priorities on what is being repaired. But it does, as you can see, you'll see very small texture changes. So that's the balancing factor on this thing, is that it takes a while. But you can park a ship in the field and it will eventually repair the ship for you. I was playing around with this in my Let's Play. I've actually got one of these, and I've only used one of them on my my Aqua base, or no, my Omicron base, and it does repair them slowly. As you can see, it's very, very slow. Let's see if we can come here. All right, so we want the multi-tool. All right, so now if we can find the one that it's repairing, it looks like it's going in cycles. Like this one is mostly. Do we have to take off and land again? And yeah, see, it's slowly repairing these things. Okay, so, but that's basically how that works. Alright, so now one of the last things that they have added is this wonderful little beast, and that is the ATM, the automated teller machine, and it is as advertised. You come over and activate it just like you normally would, and you can drop in all of those coin vouchers and ATM cards that you get, the credit cards. You can drop them in here and it'll deposit the amount for you. It'll tell you how much you've got. So it looks like we've gotten a little bit closer to the actual working in-game economy, which is good. I'm very much a fan of that as far as the multiplayer stuff is concerned. So, but yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick update on what was going on. Give you a quick glimpse. There are some other new blocks that have been added. We can show you here. Let's look at the landing gear. We actually now have the landing gear blocks are now selectable. So you create just a landing gear block for the appropriate ship, and you basically can choose which style of landing gear you want. If you just want this regular landing gear, what used to be the tier 2 is now a landing gear 2, and then they have a landing gear 2 compressed. So if you like the style, but the other one was just a little too tall, because let's be honest, it was ridiculous. This allows you to use the new style and not have your vehicle be like 4 blocks taller than it needs to be. So, oh, but they did do this for the small ships. We have the tier 2 versions, which have now the compressed version of this, as well as the heavy landing gear variant. And then for the CVs, we now have basically everything on a single tier of landing gear block. So it just depends on which style you really like. So nice update, good stuff going on in here. I'm really happy and excited to see how much this game has progressed. I mean, it's just the sheer number of new things that have been added I'm absolutely enjoying. For those who haven't seen it already, let me bring up because there's actually 2 versions of this. Let's go ahead and trash that. All right, so now the multi-tool. You have 2 versions of it. Yay! Oh, look, they fixed the graphics. Yay! So a lot of the weapons and handheld items had a jitter on them, and it looks like they've fixed it in the last patch this week. So nice. And then the tier 2 version, so a little bit of wobble still in there, but the parts of the gun are no longer completely disconnected from each other. So, and then they've updated the animation for these between repairs and the removal. Now, the tier 2, you really do need the tier 2 for the combat armor. These are all combat armor blocks, right? So they are ridiculously resilient. As you can see, there's now 2,000 hit points on these things, right? Compared to these blocks, which only have 200. So, yeah. And now talking about the blocks, since we are talking about the blocks, let me get this stuff out of my control bar here. Go ahead and grab this. So combat steel has, as you've seen, been upgraded greatly. Let me grab tier 2. Actually, let's grab both of these. I'm going to do tier 1 and tier 2. Let me grab a little bit of fuel. So what we're going to do is let me show you just the difference in these when you're removing them. So we've got combat. We've got, let's just go ahead and grab blocks. So we've got steel blocks, hard steel blocks, right? So, all right, and then we want 6 and 6. Okay. So, with these, with your normal, what used to be your default blocks, 500 hit points, right? Your armored blocks have 1,000 hit points. Your combat have 2,000, so you're doubling hit points every level. Now, what does this mean when you're trying to remove them? Well, if you're using the tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you're losing, 20 points for every time you hit it, right? Every shot. Okay. For the tier 2, you're losing 200 points every shot. This is why you do want to be upgraded to your tier 2 multi-tool, especially if you're somebody who does a lot of building and survival. If you do creative mode, it doesn't matter. But you see the difference in that? Yeah, that is a crazy amount of difference in points needed to destroy something. So, but if you are somebody who uses your multi-tool, specifically once you have neutralized bases, or if you're just doing a lot of building, definitely want to keep that in mind. The tier 2 tool is pretty much, in my opinion, the tier 1 will do it. Tier 2 does it faster, better, and less expensively. So, now what's it do for repair? See, we've got the ship's actually been repaired while we were sitting here. Oh, so yeah, that just one shot repaired that. So it looks like it's doing about twice the repair value. So that's not bad. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like the repair bays actually stack. Maybe it allows them to do, like, each one can target a different block or something. I don't know. I'll have to do a lot more experimentation with this. I'm really curious to see how we can maximize these, but I'm thinking that the folks at Eleon, they're really, really conscious about people trying to do things where basically make ships invulnerable or whatever. These blocks are base only. You cannot put them on even a CV, specifically to keep you from having self-replicating or self-repairing ships. So definitely keep that in mind when you're using them. Like I said, they are a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun with them. And you can get pretty creative with what you've got going on. Now, the last block I wanted to talk about is this thing. This is a mass block. What's a mass block, you say? It's exactly what you get on the wrapper. It adds 2 tons of mass for 1 block space. Realistically, the only thing that you would want to use this for is if you were trying to destroy a large structure, right? The only practical thing that I have found so far is if you have a structure that you want to break. So basically you've taken out the core of an opponent's base and you just want to destroy the base. You take out as much support as possible, drop 1 or 2 of these things on it, and yeah, it adds a lot of weight. So, but they are 2 tons of mass. The biggest thing that you will probably use them in reality for is for your ships. If you find your ship is way too twitchy, what you can do is you can put mass blocks on it to increase the mass of the ship, and it will basically overpower some of the RCS unit that you have in place. Now, at some point, they have said that ships will have structural integrity. The rumor is that it is something they are currently working on for one of the patches here in the immediate future. No word on when or how truthful that is, just that it's being talked about, and they have made public comment on it, so we're not releasing any information you probably haven't seen elsewhere, at least in that regards. So, but yeah, so what it comes down to is I think that what will happen is once ships have structural integrity, we are going to start seeing collision mechanics added to them, so that when ships run into structures or into other ships, they will, based on their mass, do a damage calculation, and the person or vehicle or whatever you are hitting will do a compare between the mass, very much like the other space game based on engineering, hint hint, has done as well. That's basically how the mechanic works, and it works in that other game. When you have two ships, because these are built on basically a grid system, when one grid collides with another grid, you look at the mass, you look at the velocity, and you do some calculations figuring out which one does damage to which. And with this one having multiple types of armor blocks, those armor blocks are most likely going to be modifiers on how much damage you take or how much damage reduction you receive when you are hit by other things. If they put those mechanics in, mass blocks will become planet busters, because what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to start building kinetic weapons, where you have, say, something at the utmost atmosphere, and you just drop it on the planet. I'm between those and the explosives that are in the game, because I really like the demo charges. What are they called? Explosive charge, I believe. Yeah, explosive device. These things are just fun. But because of them, if they ever put these in with the ability to have them be, say, proximity or impact, so they don't blow up unless they hit something, you will be able to build really devastating orbital weapons. And I'm thinking that with these, with the mass block, it could get pretty interesting very, very quickly, especially on the PvP side of the house. And I'm thinking that the reason why you're seeing such a delay on anything like this being put in is specifically because of the fact that balancing that is going to be very, very difficult to do. I don't envy them for it, but I look forward to see how they address it. So anyway, I think that is pretty much it for the new blocks. Most of the other changes in the game currently have been cosmetic. Well, cosmetic in appearance, very code intensive in the practice. As you can see, the light now has actual drop off. There's radial effects. There are improved God rays and lens flare. Beautiful, beautiful changes. The sky has gotten a pass on its resolution. And we've got a little bit more of a fog effect now, so it helps with some of the render quality. As you can see, I've got everything turned up pretty much to the maximum just to show it off, because it is just absolutely beautiful. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to get out of here. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw them down in the section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you are new to the channel or haven't done so already, I do ask that you subscribe, as the channel does continue to grow. As for those who aren't aware, we did recently hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and we're well on our way up the charts at this point. So yay, good job. Thank you, everybody. I greatly appreciate it. But see, I'm all choked up here. So jokes aside, thank you very much for the support, everybody. I do honestly appreciate it. I want you to know that I continue to do this because you all enjoy it. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I would be doing it anyway. But knowing that you're enjoying it, and that's what the likes and subscriptions really tell me, is that you are enjoying the content. So if you want to see more of it, make sure you're subscribing. If you have any questions, leave those comments down below. And yeah, we're going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. We'll see you back here next time for more Empyrion Galactic Survival. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Now, let's go crash this thing. Do we have enough thrusters to stand on edge? We do. Barely. Nope. We're out.